G'day everyone. Barkarati is now brought to you by Disruptor Marine Marketing, using AI to help your marine business grow. And our friends at Radix Nutrition, the most technically comprehensive nutrition products ever to exist. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati the Sailing Podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the microphone with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
How are you, bud?
Oh, I'm bloody fantastic. How are you going?
I'm all right, mate. I've had a big morning surfing, so I'm good.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I've had a big morning, just working, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it was a bloody beautiful morning on the harbour this morning. One of those beautiful, clean, crisp morning after a deluge yesterday out for a renewable energy corporate day, which is kind of interesting in our current situation. But we get out, we're doing a lap of the harbour. We had no rain, nothing. We get to the start line and it started. Well, it rained from the entire lap of the harbour.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they didn't go down below. So
Good on them. Good on them. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the other bloke.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
We really don't know what his voice sounds like anymore. It's been a while.
We don't. It's not even worth saying it, is it? I mean, what does a wolverine sound like?
Yeah.
I mean,
Last comms we had with Mr. Bicey for the listeners is about 5 hours ago. We got a photo from what looks to me like the deck of Galatea, the 100-foot maxi, the Wally Centro that he won the Worlds on. He looks like he is standing on that in the Caribbean. That looked like the Wally Centro to me. BP, you're an educated man. You would have seen the same thing.
I think I did see that. What I did see was palm trees, blue water, and a beach in the background. Yeah. So I think he was looking at that more than anything else.
Again, he said yes, he'll be here.
He's an Indian giver.
Again. Rum's cheap in the Caribbean. I think that's the answer, everyone. I honestly think that's
what we do. Do we try and find a cheaper rum to invite him to wherever we get him to? We buy a rum for him and put it in front of him.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah, we will.
We'll move on. There's plenty to talk about, obviously. It's gone sort of quieter for regattas this week. There's a couple coming up. There's quite a few coming up, actually. But we wanted to talk about a big regatta that's sort of a fantasy regatta for many offshore sailors, like it's one that...
Me included.
Yeah, and you're going to live your fantasy, BP. And so
I've reached into the bucket. And I've grabbed a bit of paper and it's come out.
Yep. Lucky number's come up and you're going to do the Pac Cup. The Pac Cup is the fun race to Hawaii, I think is the way the organisers describe that. And it's been something that's been going on for quite a while. I'm trying to remember. I think it's probably 55 years, 6 years, something along those lines. But basically, we're interested in it because it's something that I think we all in this team want to have a go. So we've reached out, and you've reached out, and we've got a guest on who is a long-time associate with this event, and including organising the event, and including being Commodore of the yacht club that runs the event. So we feel like we've got someone that can answer all our questions, and he reckons he can speak pretty good Aussie.
Yeah.
So we do want to welcome to Barkarati, Mr. Bob Hinden. Welcome, my friend, and thanks for joining us.
I'm very glad to be here. I'm looking forward to this.
No, it's
famous
good.
Last words, no doubt.
It's very cool. It's very, very, very cool to have you. Obviously, got best interest from myself coming over to compete in the race this year, and I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to sort of tell the world a little bit about the race and why not go to the top. So thanks for coming along.
Good. Glad I'm available.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll throw a couple of things that I understand out. So the race, I'll throw a little bit of framework out and we can build out of that. First, the race is from San Francisco to Hawaii. So from cold water to warm water, that's one big thing. From wave starts, I think I'm guessing you design it so everyone turns up at the end at the same time. So the first wave starts Monday, July 26th.
No, July
July 6th.
July 6th.
Yeah, sorry, I meant 2026. July 6th, 2026. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Yeah. And yeah, it's as I said, it's fun racing. It's run every 2 years, and that's the framework that I want to start with. Tell us about the race from your perspective, Bob.
Well, so I've done the race 5 times, and I've been involved. I guess since then, about 15 years ago or something, where I decided I wanted to sail to Hawaii, and then discovered this would be a pretty good way of doing it. The Pac Cup part of the fundraise part is there's a lot of people who have never sailed across an ocean before who join. And so it's like about, I think, half this year, though we're a little ambiguous on what first Pac Cup means, whether it's the boat or the person.
Right.
But in any case, so we do a lot of training, and, there's a lot of very experienced people as well. So it's a good way to learn. And that's how I did it. And so I've done it, 2 different boats. Last time I did it, we won our division. So, I've, on the water side, I think I've seen a lot of the variation. And then as I got more involved in the organization, then I got to understand how it actually, all the work that actually makes the race happen.
Okay.
That probably would have been a big eye opener for you, I guess, moving from the on water side to the management side. I mean, it's from an outsider looking in, and from a participant point of view, what I am impressed in. I'm obviously involved in all of the comms that are coming back and forward, but there is a lot of technical meetings and webinars that are put on, safety, first aid, navigation, boat preparation. It is fantastic, and I think it's something that a lot of these big major events could look at how you do it, because it is amazing.
Yeah, so we do the race every 2 years, the even years. On the odd years, there's another race, the Transpac from Los Angeles area, Long Beach, to Honolulu. We sail to Kaneohe, which is, I sort of view it as the north side, but it's not the North Shore. And so, we go to a different side of the islands. We go to Kaneohe Yacht Club. They go to the yacht clubs down in Honolulu. So it's a little different. The Pac Cup is actually about 100 or 200 miles shorter. You wouldn't think so if you look at the map, but it's if you look at the North America, if you look carefully, that you notice that the coastline actually goes to the east. So it's Los Angeles is actually further away to Hawaii than San Francisco is, even though we're farther north. So it tends to be a little warmer when it starts, which must be nice. But
yeah, I know the yacht club, and I know the area you're talking about. It is quite a beautiful bay in and around through there where you come in. I mean, Hawaii's beautiful everywhere, but that side of the island is just like picture postcard in there.
It is. It's really a wonderful landfall. I've been, in the times I've done it, I've been lucky that we got there in the daytime, except for the last race we did, where we got there around sunset, which wasn't so bad, but it makes the going in through the channel and the reef a little more interesting. But it's really beautiful when you finally, you get close enough that you start to see land under the clouds that usually sit over the island. So it's really a wonderful place to arrive. And then the yacht club is wonderful, and the way they treat all the racers. You get an escort in across, through the channel and in the bay, and it's always interesting. Just usual. You want to avoid the coral heads. And they get you docked, and then the local people, you get Mai Tais, and it's really quite wonderful.
Not interested in that. For me, it's all about the racing. So
I'm sure. Well, when you get there, you'll be interested in the Mai Tai.
Oh, don't worry. We're pretty relaxed on what we do. I mean, look, I'm just super excited that. I'm coming over to do the California Race Week to prepare with Jack. It's a big project for Jack. It's a big project. Jack Purack, who I'm sailing with. We'll talk about more of that in a bit, but it's a big commitment from our side, obviously, to have the Australian contingent. But I'm so looking forward to the race. So it's and that part of it is obviously part of it. My family's coming over.
Nice.
To spend the 10 days there with us. So it is going to be very much a good experience.
Cool.
Yep. So one of the things I find interesting, Bob, when I was sort of trying to do a bit of reading on the whole event, is that the Pac Cup, as you said, it's a race to Hawaii, but it's sort of spurned its own yacht club, hasn't it? The Pacific Cup Yacht Club. Is that right? Have I interpreted that correctly, or?
Yes, but the purpose of the yacht club is basically to run the race. We're not, we don't have a building or anything like that. So there's no physical yacht club. It's we tend to have meetings at various yacht clubs around the San Francisco Bay. We have an event coming up in about a week that'll be held at Berkeley Yacht Club. We'll do the skippers meeting and Bon Voyage party at Richmond Yacht Club. We've had safety at sea at Encinal Yacht Club.
Yeah.
And then the start is off of St. Francis on the San Francisco city front. So you're truly quite a wonderful place.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Spent plenty of time in St. Francis. Haven't been banned for life yet, but it is a great club.
Not for the want of trying, Jay.
Well, they're very accommodating, is all I'll say. They're a wonderful club, and that whole location. And I know you got St. Francis, and then when I saw your Burgee, I was trying to work out. I wondered if it was any association with Larry Ellison's little private yacht club he's got just down the, a couple of 100 metres down the road there. But no.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, because one of the things that we've been going on Barcarati for such a long time, and your model is actually one we should copy because we were always bantering about creating the Barcarati Yacht Club and coming up with a cool Burgee, and you've got yours has got a couple of dolphins swimming across, which I think is pretty cool.
Right.
And so you're an inspiration, my friend. You're an inspiration.
Good. The other sort of I think interesting thing about the Pac Cup is, unlike the Transpac, is that we have a much broader range of boats. We go from double-handed more 24s up to whatever. I guess we have like 2 80-foot boats this year. Paiwacket is racing, where the Transpac is mostly larger, more serious boats. We have a lot of boats that are, some might be viewed as more cruising boats who wanted to, or maybe a little more interested in just doing the crossing than the race. But I think it's the old saying is you get 2 sailboats going on the same tack.
Yes.
They're racing.
They're racing.
The red mist.
So I think
the red mist goes on.
I think people tend to get into it.
Well, I mean, so one of the things about Barcarati is about trying to grow the sport and make it accessible. And so what your race, one of the appeals and why we're talking about it is that whole safety element and the way you're doing the briefings and bringing people into offshore and then making it open to lots of different classes. You mentioned Paiwacket. Well, Paiwacket, that's obviously a pretty fast racing boat. That one, I suspect it's under new ownership. It might even have an Aussie owner.
So I thought it was still Roy Disney, but I'm not.
I think it's up for sale, and I've heard rumours, but let's not talk about that. Let's not get distracted.
There is more than one boat called Paiwacket.
Yes,
too,
good point.
So it's complicated.
Yeah, yes, that's a good point. I was wondering if that
they don't consult with me, obviously, but they could be selling one and getting ready to buy a new one. So who knows?
Exactly, exactly. So from that perspective, it appeals. So if you could just explain what rating systems people will race under and what the different classes are, so we can find out about that.
So we, for the last series of races, I don't know when exactly. The first races I did were just under Northern California PHRF, but I don't know. Around 10 years ago, we also added ORR, U.S. Sailing ORR rating. So we've always had two. For a long time, we've had two races, and we've done. And until this year, this race, we've sort of done a conversion factor so we could do an overall, corrected time winner. This year, we're using the TCF forecast-based version of ORR, so the ratings will be adjusted based on the weather on the day you start. Because we have boats that have different speed, pretty big difference in sizes and speeds. We do starts from usually Monday through, well, this year it'll probably be Monday through Friday. And the goal is to try to get most of the boats there, like the weekend, the weekend before the parties start. That's the way I describe it. The skippers, the awards meeting was always on a Friday evening. But there's a bunch of really nice parties at Kaneohe, and so the goal is sort of to try to get most of the boats to come in around the same time. But one of the results of that is that the weather, like from difference between Monday and Friday, can be really different. I've done it where I, get lots of wind at the beginning. We did our fastest passage, but I've done other times where you get out, out of the gate and towards the Farallines, and you spend the night bobbing around with no wind. And so this at least will, for the ORR boats, will at least give you a rating that sort of takes account on the weather you get at your start, or forecast weather. The actual weather could always be different.
Yeah.
But I think this is interesting, just because I guess I've had the experience of very different weather myself. I think this is really quite good. We of course made it. We didn't want to force everyone to have to get an ORR rating because a lot of boats didn't. So we're actually running sort of two parallel races this time, where there'll be an overall PHRF winner and an overall ORR winner, based on corrected time.
Yep.
So,
and
which again is what we
makes the trophies committee's job a little more complicated.
Well, it makes the parties bigger, right?
Yes.
But on the other side of what we were just saying then was that it opens the door for accessibility for a broader range of people to go sailing. I mean, as you say, not everyone maybe doesn't have the budget, or not everyone is interested in racing in full racing mode. They are doing it as an adventure. We bang on about it quite a lot, that adventure sailing is a huge facet of sailing that gets forgotten a little bit, at this level. And I think it's fantastic that there's races like that still accommodate that.
Yes. Yeah, and it's also one of the things that's always attracted me to it, besides just that it's sailing, is that, it's a lot about self-reliance. When you get, I sort of discovered this the first time. We were, we had our instruments set up so you could see the distance to finish, and it had 3 digits, and so when we got, and it's a little over 2,000 miles, so when it got to start showing something, it meant we were busy at less than 1,000 miles there. And then it dawned on me, gee, we're 1,000 miles from anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you get into trouble, it's not like they can fly a plane or a helicopter to rescue you.
No.
So you better be prepared to deal with whatever might happen. And so I find that both, a little scary, but mostly challenging. And, we haven't lost anyone yet, but so I think it's, it's a, unlike some of the other East Coast in the U.S. ocean races, the distance here is just much greater. And so it brings all that to the table too.
The other advantage, of course, is you go to Hawaii without having to get on a plane. I mean, flying planes is no fun anymore. So.
Well, in my case, I'm sailing halfway home. I mean, I'm flying to San Fran and then sailing halfway home.
Right.
Yeah.
In the same direction.
Yeah, perfect. And now, Bob, if I said to you, you've spent a bit of time in Oz, as you said to me beforehand. If I said the term cat whacker to you, does that mean anything to you?
No.
Okay. So it's a friendly and loving way monohull sailors in Australia refer to catamaran sailors. And one of the... No, I was just trying to get a subtle roundabout way to say it's monohulls and catamarans and multi-hulls. It's both?
Yes, we are open to both, but we have one multi-hull this year. We had two for a while, but one of them dropped out. So it's mostly monohulls.
Yeah. Okay.
But if we've had multi-hulls before, if they get to Hawaii, and so we certainly accept them both. We don't tend to get the really large, really fast ones.
No problems. Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, like if you had say a cruising cat or ocean going cat, it'd be a lovely way. Just it's or multi-hull. It's a good way to. The whole purpose of a race like this is a really good way. You've got, as you said, if something goes wrong, there's other yachts around, and so
right.
You've got that. It's like a rally, I guess, in a way, but it's a race. So,
yeah, it's interesting. In my experience, you don't very rarely see any other boats, but they are out there.
Yeah.
And with especially now with satellite communication, and I'm curious trying to find out how many boats will have Starlink this year. The communications, I think, are going to be get much better. We'll get lots of videos for our social media feeds.
Yeah.
Which, when I started doing it, the communication was single sideband radio, and you could do email over it, but it was really slow. But it worked.
And so I can say we've got Starlink. We've got Starlink on the boat, so you're going to go, that bloody Aussie's back on again. Christ.
Right. Yeah, I think it's good.
I'm doing the commentary for the start of an ocean race in 2 weeks, Bob. And when this race originally started, the communication, genuinely, the communication was carrier pigeons. So they had the pigeon club. We'd each give them a few pigeons, and then they'd send off their positions. So that's even further back.
I don't know how well pigeons do over the ocean.
It's pretty funny. Well, you couldn't do it with the event you're doing. But there's a team. What's the team racing element? I saw in the results. I was going back through some old results, and I saw the team racing element.
So it's mostly if we get a set of people racing the same kind of boat, we'll do something like that. We also have ability for people to group together by, if they're in the same yacht club. So you can have a sort of a yacht club. So, we have the main thing is people get divisions, and those are based on double-handed or fully crewed, and then broken up basically by the speed of the boat, or the rating. And this year, of course, there'll be different divisions for PHRF and ORR. So we, so those are the, and those divisions, those are like the formal divisions, but we have sort of, because I could almost call them virtual divisions for groupings in other ways, and then they get other different kinds of recognition based on how they did.
Very cool. It's
which again adds to the point of participation. It's not that we're getting,
right,
opportunities to have participation awards, but it's more like, I'm doing this and I'm going to do the best for my team, or I'm doing this, I'm going to do the best for my club. Right. And I think it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, but the starts are by the formal divisions. The other kind, like the yacht club ones, are just you just look at all the scores when everybody gets there and decide who won those.
100%.
Must be. I mean, it's kind of when the way you do this starting, where you start off in different waves. It must be tough on the old St Francis Yacht Club team just getting all those volunteers out there so like does it a wave start each day, or is it multiple waves a day? How does that work, Bob?
It can either be a single or 2 or 3 starts per day.
Right.
So I don't know how it's breaking. We haven't done the division assignments yet. We're starting to talk about it, but we usually start the double-handed boats. The first day there may be the slower PHRF boats starting the first day as well, but then the rest will get broken up later in the week.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're probably going to have 3 days of starts this time, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Obviously, we won't know until we get closer to the weather as well, because it's your choice to start, when the weather's good, right, as well?
No, you will get assigned a start date based on, the division you're in, basically. And you get the weather you get.
And cool. And for the listeners out there who may not have heard of this race before, how many boats are we going to see in this race?
Well, I can tell you how many are active now. So right now we have 59 boats who are active entries. We had a total of 73 sign up, but 14 people step back. We usually get some people withdraw between now and the start, and then occasionally we'll also get boats who turn back. Yep. But I'm expecting we're going to get something. I don't think we're going to get too many people drop out this time, so I think it'll be in the 50 range. Yeah, something like that.
Still a good number.
Do we have a race record?
Yeah, there is an overall fastest, passage, and that was won by Mary Cha, I think 4 or 5.
Yeah, Mary Cha 4.
They did it in about 5 days, and this was, I think, the first year I did the Pac Cup. They were in the race, and
I remember that.
That really throws your party systems into out of whack, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it was still pretty cool. We got to see the boat when they were in Richmond before the race. It was definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome boat.
I reckon Jen White sailed on that thing for a while.
Yeah, I think she was involved around about then.
Yeah, I reckon she would have been on that one. Very cool. So let's, Bob, as you said, you won the division. Was that 22? You were a division winner in 22?
Yes, 22.
There you go. So what do you reckon? Tell us about the conditions so I'm asking for BP now, like what the secrets are mate. For the race. When you're coming out of San Fran, is it just put the hammer down and just go? That's basically the tactics.
Well, it depends. Obviously, it just depends on the weather. If it's the year we won, the challenge was trying to navigate, and I'm very proud of my daughter was our navigator, and she managed to keep us, where the wind was, because it was the wind was not at all consistent that year, and so she managed to navigate us, which is like it's trying to get the boat where the wind is going to be, I guess is the other way of saying it. And so it was a very challenging year for navigators that time to sort of, get weather forecasts and see where you were and see how you wanted to get there and what it looked like in the future. And so I think, and we also, I think, we had done, that was our 3rd time we had raced Surprise in the Pac Cup. And I think we were the best prepared, both in getting the boat ready and doing lots and lots of practice to sail the boat. We sailed down to Monterey for the Spinnaker Cup, and then came back, and So we were the crew, the boat and the crew were really well prepared, better than we had done in previous times. So it was sort of everything, but there's a lot of uncertainty. There's no guarantee you can win. It depends. The weather doesn't always do what the forecast says it's going to do, and so it's very interesting and exciting. So there's generic things about, typically in the summer in San Francisco, you get a Pacific high. And if that's stable, then there's well known, and there's, I think, even a book written about that Stan Honey published, about racing the Pac Cup. And, there's a pretty determined, where you go, and there's usually a high pressure ridge. You want to figure out where to cross, and then you're basically trying to get away from the coast and into the trade winds. And trying to figure out where to go is the challenge. But in 2022, it was sort of a bit different than that, in that getting there was the challenge. Once you get into the trade winds, then things become very consistent, or much more consistent.
And that was all down to Rebecca, was it?
It was. Well, of course, she had a lot of other people about making suggestions. But I give her all the credit.
I've met Rebecca a couple of times when I've been in San Fran with Jack, and she's
good.
She's definitely got a good sailing head on her for sure.
Yes, she does. Yeah, I'm her father, but I'm really proud of her, and it's sort of interesting how it evolved with her. That it started out where she would be introduced as our daughter, but now it's reversed, and we get introduced as, "Oh, you're Rebecca's parents." So she's clearly the better sailor in the family now.
Is she doing the race this year, Bob?
She is. Yeah, she's crewing on Zeph.
Oh, she's abandoned you.
Yeah, well, I'm not racing this year.
Okay.
I didn't want to race and become it. I was sort of better I fly over.
Yeah.
With regards to the weather, Bob, and obviously been involved for quite a few years, have you seen any form of sort of subtle changes that seem to be sort of getting quite settled in terms of, because obviously we're seeing lots of different anomalies with the weather. Has it been anything noticeable?
The word I would say is unsettled.
Right. Unsettled, yeah.
I mean, the thing I've noticed is the Pacific high is taking longer to get stabilized, if it does get stabilized. So we're starting in July this time. It's a real, trying to pick a start date is interesting, because you of course you want to prefer to leave San Francisco in an ebb, and you want to and you don't want to get there too late, because then you start the potential for hurricanes in Hawaii goes up, and so you want to leave when you think there might be a Pacific high settling out. And of course, you pick the date 2 years before, so you can't can't know ahead of time. But so
Jordan, you might want to have a go at this. How are you feeling about it? You want to do some research and let us know?
Yeah. The joke there, Bob, is that when we do Sydney Hobart coverage, I start forecasting race day weather, the start day weather, from about 3 months out, and it's gone pretty good.
No, you've been pretty good. You're not far off.
It's a bit of fun, but yeah. So that's where BP's going.
I might get you to do a bit of stuff privately behind the scenes, Joe.
Okay. You might have to do the modelling. I don't have that, but for you.
Well, don't violate the rules, because we allow people to get public weather.
Yep.
But not get forecasts delivered to their boat for their boat.
No, we know that. That's okay. We know that.
I'm sure you do. And
I'm obviously having a bit of a yarn, but no, Jack and I are doing our own research now, and part of the preparation obviously is some practice routing of previous races, and obviously looking at what has happened in the past. So but as you say,
that's very good.
There's a very, and from my looking at it, it seems like there's a very very important decision to be made as to that jibe into Hawaii. That seems to be the main player in the game. So when you actually make that move across to go south. So, we've just got to, obviously all of us will be looking at that pretty closely.
Yep. And then the usual trade-off of, how far off the rum line do you get? Because, you may go faster, but you have to do more miles. And it's really tricky.
Yeah.
Obviously, BP, from your perspective, you'd be hoping for pretty solid trade wins, and just you and Jack just stacked in the back corner and hanging on, basically, I'm assuming.
Oh, look, I'm not going to go too much into I'm doing it on a Far X2, Bob, which is obviously, as you know, my design, my project, which I've had now for the last 5 years. And if there's ever a race designed for this boat, it is this race.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do the Brisbane Gladstone, which is also a predominantly downwind / reaching race. So I must admit that when Jack sort of put the idea again up that we're ready to go, I jumped on it, because I just can't think of anything better to do this race, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'll be sort of watching to see how you do.
Yeah. Yep, you'll hear him.
Quite good. I think he, or at least he did, he keeps the boat in the same marina that I have my boat.
Yeah, is he up in Alameda? Is he again still?
Yeah,
or?
right.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
I think Marina Village. I think.
Yeah,
that's
right.
where he was last time.
Yeah, he's back in there, so that's where we're based out of.
I do have to ask, Bob, just as an aside question. The name Surprise, it conjures up all sorts of potential images, like whether it was a surprise for your wife that you've bought another boat, or surprise, here we are at the front of the fleet, or, there's all sorts of potential.
It's a wonderful name.
It is.
And I have to restrain myself from making, surprise-like jokes on the boat. But the name, so we bought the boat from Steve and Susan Chamberlain, who are very well known in the Bay Area. And she's a Carl Schumacher design, and she was built at, I think, Davy Norris in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Oh,
and so they picked the name. But according to Steve, the name is from the other boat called Surprise, the one, Master and Commander Surprise.
Okay. Well,
but I do think it's just a wonderful name for a boat.
Yeah. Well, given it's a Kiwi boat, it's highly likely that it gets up and boogies downwind. The Kiwis, they love to go downwind with everything up in the air. So nothing on their feet, shorts in freezing cold weather. They're a strange bunch, our neighbours, but they do like going fast on boats. So I'm assuming she's pretty quick.
I think she's pretty quick.
Yep, that's cool.
Well, I mean, results prove that it obviously is. So,
yeah. So from your perspective, when you're organising and your sailing career, what's the major influences? Like from, you're based in San Francisco. You've got a great culture of sailing in San Francisco. It's a fabulous place, where all sorts of different sailing happens, and you produce some really talented sailors out of there. A lot of them that, we've raced against many, many times. From your perspective, is that the main influence, that sort of local scene, or do you look at like things like the Volvo Ocean Race and the Pac Cup and all that sort of stuff? Are you a fan of that sort of stuff, Bob?
I mean, I follow it somewhat, not too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I started. So my sailing history is, I grew up in Florida on the West Coast in Sarasota,
mm-hmm.
and I, sailed on people's boats at the Sarasota Sailing Squadron, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They were still back when boats were still made out of wood and things like that. And then we lived in Boston. We bought a J24 and didn't race it, but sailed around Boston Harbor in it. And then we moved to California in the early 90s and decided to, we bought a series of different boats, not so much for racing. But then I sort of got the idea in my head. I wanted to sail to Hawaii, and that's what sort of got me more involved. I was probably doing more cruising style things until then, but then I got involved now. And then we also sort of also have a smaller boat, a Harbor 20, that we sail a lot on and race in the Alameda Oakland estuary.
Yep.
And and that's a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's really nice. You can just, two people can, or even one person can just take it out and go sailing, and it's not but it's also a very I like to say it's a very easy boat to sail, but it's also a hard boat to sail well.
Well, that's a big cliche for many boats. You get 10 of them on the water. You could have a bathtub with a mast in it, and there will always be someone who can sail that bathtub better than you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, well, but San Fran obviously is a unique place to sail in terms of
it is.
It is.
That cold water and that wind just comes thumping in.
I find it. I find it not intimidating, but I find it for me, because it's not my backyard. I mean, I've got the harbour basically here, Bob, right next to me. I'm on the harbour, and I'm on the harbour nearly every day, Sydney Harbour, that is. But I find San Francisco, the size of it is impressive, number one. But the way that cloud sort of is hanging around, and then it goes, can go cloudy and be sunny, and then cloudy again, but windy.
Right.
It's a really interesting place to sail.
It certainly is. I mean, the summer weather tends to be very consistent some of the time, or most of the time. It's a lot of the weather is driven by gets really hot in the Central Valley of California.
Yes.
And so that tends to pull everything into the bay, and fog and wind, and you get waves. And so we tend to get, you can see our cat in the background.
Yeah. It's just got halfway and go, what's going on here? Let's have a look what's going on.
So it's very consistent. And sometimes it's actually, the warmer sailing is actually in the winter. So it's like the opposite of many places. So so it's a great place to sail, and if you sail in San Francisco Bay, you certainly know how to deal with wind.
Yes, that was probably where I was going with this. It's not a place for champagne and chicken. I mean, it can be, but I can tell you you got to be on your game.
And then there's sailing in the bay, and there's lots of races that are just inside of the bay. But then there's also a lot of races that go out to the ship buoy or around the Farallones, and where you're really going out in the ocean. And I'm always I know it's always going to happen now, but this thing that happens, you're sailing out under the Golden Gate Bridge, which is just very cool by itself.
Yep.
And you're just over the line, and all of a sudden you get ocean swells. It just changes it immensely, and you don't get it in the bay at all. But as soon as you start getting past the Golden Gate Bridge, it's like you're moving in different ways, and you find out if you're going to get seasick or not right away. so it's really cool. But so there's like two whole classes of ocean sailing and bay sailing right next to each other, and so I think it's a great place to sail and learn how to sail. The other thing that it's really good is that many of the yacht clubs have really good junior sailing programs. The yacht club I'm a member of, Encinal, has a really good one. St. Francis has a really good one. Richmond Yacht Club, and that's where a lot of the sailors come from. Kids who, unfortunately, I was never lucky enough to be in a program like that. But, I think it's a wonder, these are wonderful programs, and we get lots of good sailors who grow up and learn how to sail in these programs and then go off to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. I think the famous Mark Twain quote, the coldest winter I ever spent was summer in San Francisco. So that goes back to
There's sort of a scam, but down in Fisherman's Wharf, they sell sweatshirts because a lot of tourists don't understand what they're about to get. Think it's summer, and then they're freezing. So they buy sweatshirts.
It's funny because when I travelled I spent a lot of time in San Fran, and if you go back right down the harbour, it's quite warm. It can be quite still wind,
Right.
and when we did Sail GP one year, we had all the boats. I can't remember what wharf it was, but we're way down, and then you come back up, and as soon as you come, you just hit that fog line, and boom, you're in shorts and t-shirt, and then suddenly you got to rug everything up. It's amazing.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is my point precisely. It's not that it's intimidating. It's just that you got to be on your toes.
Well, do you know what it means, BP?
What does it mean, Jordan?
It means that when you start the Pac Cup, you are going to fly out of San Fran and get to Hawaii as quick as you can because you can warm up, buddy.
Yeah. Like I said, I do enjoy being in San Fran. I am looking forward to the crossing, but I am saying I'm looking forward and touch wood to that moment when I touch the Hawaiian shore. I think that's for me. I'm looking at this as an adventure and also an opportunity to get back out there into ocean racing for me because it's been a while now, a couple of years. But I'm super excited for that. I really can't wait.
I'll do my best to see if I can be on the dock at Kaneohe when you get there.
That's cool.
Oh yeah,
cool.
You'll be right. You'll know we're coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll be tracking everyone. So and it's and there's both. Yeah. So there's an escort boat that will bring you in, and then there's an arrival committee when you get to the dock. There's some inspection stuff too, but we get Mai Tais and pictures and Kaneohe, does this great. Doesn't matter when you arrive, they'll always be there.
Yeah,
love it.
It's cool. It's very cool. And I mean, there's nothing better than doing a couple of 1,000 miles downwind with three sails up on the front of your mast, just smoking downwind for a week. You couldn't ask for more. So that's what I'm hoping for you, BP.
Oh, it just gives me shivers.
Yeah. All right, Bob. I think we might call it there, mate. First off, my apologies that you're going to have to put up with my friend here when he turns up in San Francisco, and in Hawaii.
No, will be good to see him. I'll have a drink.
I'm very inconspicuous. I'm very inconspicuous and underwhelming. Don't worry.
Well, let me know when you actually get here.
Well, I can do that straight away. I'll be there May 18th. I fly in and prepare for the California race week, and then no doubt we'll be catching up.
Oh, so you'll be here from then on?
Yeah, then I come back home and go back over. So I've got two stints. Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully I'll see you.
All right, and best of luck with the rest of the organisation, mate, and I hope the nice, safe and fun regatta for everyone, or race for everyone, and we'll watch with interest.
Great.
And just before we go, obviously there's a website, we, for people who are interested in following it, how does the general public follow the race, and how do they follow any information with regards to it?
So we have a website. It's the Pacific Cup .org, and it's not up yet, it's a little early, but on the homepage there'll be a tracker, and I think you can also subscribe to position reports. All the boats will have a YB tracker. I guess I still like to call it Yellow Brick, but
yep.
And so we will do daily reports. There's going to be a lot of social media this time. We've been growing that, and I think with more people having good internet connectivity, we have a lot more content for the boats than we usually do.
Well,
so it should be a really interesting race to watch.
Pretty sure Jay, and if we can find Bicey, we'll be having a bit of a chat about it while I'm out there. So,
maybe a live cross. That'd be good.
Oh, there'll be a couple of live crosses. Don't worry.
That'd be great. Cool.
But don't spend all your time sitting at the computer. Either sail or sleep, especially a double-handed.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Bob, thank you very much for coming on. Seriously looking forward to it.
I'm glad we could do it.
Pac Cup 2026 as from July 6th this year. Listeners, get into it. Get on that website, get on the tracker, and any other way you want to get in touch, just get in touch. Be good.
Great. Cheers.
look, what I love about this whole thing is the fact that it is a race that is sort of within reach, I guess, for a lot of people. And you could tell by Bob's sort of relaxed demeanour that, he's all over it. It's going to be a cool event. Obviously, as he did say, you get 2 boats and a gun, and it's race on. Even though it's sort of, can have the element of people doing it from an adventure point of view. But look, I've got to tell you that everyone that I speak to that are doing the race, and especially in our little circle that we are talking with, is a race. So we are preparing for a race. We're focusing on a race, and we're ready to go on the Far X2 Shake and Bake.
Excellent. I can tell you're excited. Are you going to be putting the guitar on board?
Oh, there'll be the guitar and fishing.
And fishing? You're going to fish? Really?
No. Of course not, you bloody idiot.
I was going, wow. Well, I know you've done it in the past. That's why I asked. I know you have done it in the past, so I don't put it past you.
Well, that was out of necessity because we ran out of food.
I love it. No. Well, you know what you should do if you've got a risk of running out of food, my friend, is you should make sure this is all about you, this little section here, because
well, it is. But you're heading down the Radix path, aren't you?
Well, Radix, they've got the whole program based, whether it's around you want health or vitality, endurance and high performance, outdoor and adventure. They've got all sorts of the different meals and drinks and smoothie systems. So you just choose which system you're focused on, and that's up to you, BP. You just got to work out.
Well, Mike, if you're listening, you don't know it yet, but you are actually sponsoring us. So no, I can tell you right now that when I get over there in May, I'll be having a chat to a few people and definitely trying to, my God, helicopters are just flown over the top of my house.
I heard.
You can cut that out.
No. We'll just don't worry about it. Let's keep going.
Far out.
It's all right.
Must be something going on, and I don't know what's going on.
Well, they heard the Radix discussion. They come over. They want some food.
That's it. So Radix, yes, absolutely. I mean, one way or another, it's a very important part of this race for me because I know the benefits. And so I've spoken to Jack about it, the owner of the boat, and he, obviously hasn't had much to do with it. So I'm going to be introducing him to that in California Race Week. The key to it is being vital and being awake and being energized to perform. I mean, that's the key to it.
Well, all you have to do, BP, this is what you have to do. You just have to go to
Radix, I have to do?
Radix Nutrition, and you use Bar Karate as the discount
code. I use Bar Karate, do
I? And then you're away. You got
the voucher.
And then, whilst you're doing that, remember, because your business will you'll still need the phone being answered. If you just go and speak to our friends at disruptormarinemarketing.com.au, and you can run your business while you're in the middle of the ocean, mate. So you won't fall behind.
100%.
You can use the AI bot, or as we call it, the Buy Spot.
The Buy Spot. Well, I'll just give Buy Spot a call at the end of the week and a half or 2 weeks, whatever it takes me to get there.
And you'll have all your calls and
I'll have it all there, all organised, all filed, all in order of importance.
Yeah. So if you're interested and you're in a marine business, just check out disruptormarinemarketing.com.au. There's a 30-minute demo where you can see exactly how many leads you're missing currently. They can actually go through that with you. And Disruptor is spelled DISRUPTA. So disruptormarinemarketing.com.au. And it doesn't matter if you're another part of the world. As long in the marine space, this is the way to do it. So
global.
Go global. That's it. Just check it all out. All right, let's move on. We've got a few events coming up. We've got Easter around the corner. So Lake Catharaba, just above me, has got its All Boats Regatta. That's a big Easter event, traditional. So I'll float up there after the start of the Gladstone. I'll be doing the Gladstone on Easter Friday, and then I'll probably go up and have a look at the All Boats. I know the Wallies are going up. I think a whole bunch of classes are going to be up there. I've been seeing the
Rainbows?
Combos. I'm not sure if the Rainbows are there. I've seen some emails from the Impulses.
Disappointing that Bicey he's kind of dropped the ball there a little bit. Do you think he should be pushing the Rainbows at this event?
Yeah, the Rainbow guys, they're going all right. I think they're too busy filming a documentary about the re-emergence of the Rainbow in conjunction with the Crocs. And, it's the same thing.
In conjunction with the Crocs.
They both have grown at the same time. So,
yeah.
the other one... I've been banging on about the Brisbane to Gladstone, but of course the 40th Pittwater to Coffs starts on the 27th. So
it's next week.
Yeah. So this goes to air. They will do a coverage. I think it's on. They're going to do a bit of YouTube coverage. I don't know what officially they're doing, but it's a 1 p.m. start. So it goes from.
It's a great race. It's a great race.
It's
for
a good
international
race,
listeners. The Pittwater to Coffs Harbour yacht race. It's a couple hundred miles. Quite tricky.
Yeah, there's
this time of year.
Plenty of little islands.
You can either get a honkin' southerly and do it in a day, or you can get some really light fickle northerlies and bang the beach the whole way up.
Yep.
I remember a couple of times there. I've done many of them. I can remember a couple of times there. We've sailing on the 40s. We get to about Byron. Not quite Byron. Sorry, not quite Byron. I was thinking of another race. Can't think of the heads now. Can't think of the head. But anyway, you get to this area and there's always no wind. And I remember the Maxis were there, all sitting there, and we came in. We're all in this little puff of breeze, and the whole fleet was sitting there.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. All right, well, that one kicks off. So that's the start of there's a bunch of races going up and down the coast, the east coast of Australia. Over in Europe, we're back into the sailing season, and we've got, remember the Grand Slam events that they sailing is trying to promote for the Olympic cycle. So the first of those kicks off this year. So that's the Trofea Princess Sophia. So that's the 55th running of that.
Which of course is Palma, Mallorca. Horrible place to sail.
Yeah, horrible. 27 March to 4th of April. So I know plenty of youngsters will be involved in that. So that is this week. That kicks off this week. Then you've got the rest, just for discussion points, the French Olympic Week in here. That kicks off mid-April, I think. And then Dutch Water Week, only the Dutch could sell it like this, in 30 May to 7 June. Kiel Week at the end of June, and then the Olympic.
So that's the tour. That's your Grand Slam.
Oh, then you got the pre-Olympic event in LA. So that's mid-July to 7 August.
That's the piece de resistance.
That's the whole Grand Slam. Yeah.
Yep. How cool.
Very cool. All right. Jack Lloyd, listener of the week, my friend. We brought to us by Vycobi. Vycobi BP, you're in for a surprise, a bit of Vycobi surprise. I've been busy.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you're in for a surprise. Yeah.
Good.
So, and the listeners will be happy. Of course, Vycobi give a couple of $100 worth of gear away each month, so just for the best contribution. Remember, if you do go to the Vycobi website, you can get our sun shirts, which are just the coolest things ever.
I love it, and I've got to say, went out on.
I think I've had one of mine stolen, BP, because it's disappeared.
No, yeah. Well, it's an insurable item. You should put a claim in.
I might have to. Go on.
Oh yeah, I got to say, I went out on the IC37 a couple of weeks ago, and young Hayden Barney arrived.
Oh yeah.
He arrived and had his shirt on.
Down in Sydney?
So he was down in Sydney for Sail GP.
Oh, and he's like Russ, that kid. He gets into everything.
Anyway, he come out on the IC37 with me, and he had his shirt on. So it was kind of a cool feeling. So, to see other people wearing the Baccarati shirt. So loves the shirt. I mean, I love it too. I wear it everywhere. I got two, so I have insured them.
Yeah. He's him and his family. G'day to the Barney family, the Barney Army.
The Barney Army, love it.
They're massive fans of the show. Right. So anyway, there's a couple of emails I want to mention. We've got thousands of emails this week, mainly from America's Cup teams. It's been pretty amazing how many press releases we've seen. So the America's Cup cycle is back on, is all I'll say.
It is 100%.
My God, there's some emails. Nice one from Nicole Shrimpton, though. I like that one. That was just talking about...
Nicole is she's a huge supporter of sailing here in Sydney. She obviously owns Defiance, which is a beautifully restored 8-metre, absolutely gorgeous boat, and has purchased a second one that is going to be sailing here in Sydney Harbour, and going through the process of getting ratings for the boats, which is what the email sort of sort of bangs on about how to get the boats all sailing together and have a good rating system, because there's a lot of these classic boats floating around that don't really have a home anymore. They have the classic events, but why not do this? Why not get them out there with a rating system and go and do regattas?
Well, they've got a regatta. It's the Saturday, 11th of April, 2026 coming up. It's the Classic Yacht Regatta, the inaugural Classic Yacht Regatta at Royal Prince Edward Yacht Club, the Eddies.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Have you been able to spend much time at the Eddie?
I've been there a few times. And I do see it nearly every day as I do my little jaunts around the harbour.
It's quite
lovely little club.
Quite the exclusive club. One of my all-time great mates holds up the bar there most days.
Have you got a photo there?
I had my name on one of the trophies there, but have I got a photo there? I'm not sure. My great mate Norman Ridge probably has pulled it down, but
or put it in the toilet.
But yeah. I love the Eddie because, and I love Norman. Right, Norman's my great mate. He doesn't let people talk to him very much. He keeps his friendship grip pretty tight, and he doesn't. I don't ring him at home, and I don't ring him on the mobile. I ring the bar at the Eddie and say, "Can I talk to Norman?"
It's situated.
It sounds like he's an alcoholic, but he's super fit. He's not. He's not at all. It's just
no. But the Prince Edward Sailing Club or Yacht Club is basically situated on the harbour on the near Potts Point.
As most yacht clubs are.
Hey, yes, but it's right on. It's basically almost a house that looks up the harbour. Yeah, it's got the best position.
Yep. So Nicole just said, I thought you might be interested to know that 23 classic boats have all measured up for IRC ratings, effectively the new inshore standard rating, in a matter of weeks, which has to be a record. Among them are Australian first in IRC, the 5.5s, 30 squares, the Etchells, and a Cuda boat, which is a world first. And she was just talking about whether we should highlight that element on the IRC racing for inshore, not just offshore. So the new Commodore of the Eddie, Sven Runno, is being a typical bowman, breaking new ground by offering dual rating PHS and IRC for the classics with the club's first ever classics regatta. So Nicole, happy to talk about your regatta as we did. We've got some more follow up on that whole IRC thing.
I think there's more to come with this one. Yeah.
So that's definitely coming.
Actually, Sven Runno would be a good chat.
Well, we got a few. Obviously, Australian Sailing has been onto us quite a bit about that. So we've got a few things we've got to pull together. We're waiting sort of till we got all three of us on shore because we want to take that one quite seriously.
We could be waiting for a while.
I've sussed him out. All right, I've sussed him out. And another one's just a nice little story from Phil Yeomans, another great mate.
This was a bit left field, wasn't it? This sort of came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Well, Phil's always driving around the country. He repping his company, Deck Hardware, always stocking up all the shelves, so you got all your good gear.
Great little shop.
Hey?
Great little shop, that one.
Yeah, well, he provides all the shops around Australia, I think. So, guys, just listening today, the episode on Emma, I have to tell you a story of my dad. His jog boat is it's a small sort of keel boat rating class. If you haven't heard of jog, I think most people would know what jog ratings are. His jog boat was rebuilt on our front lawn at Newport from an old 18-footer hull, lengthened, and a star keel was put under, and a transom hung rudder to be 22 foot long. I've got to pronounce it. Tremere was nicknamed Antheap due to the hump-style cabin deck top. So his dad was having a new spinnaker made by Kevin Shepherd, who ran the Taskers in the Sydney City back in the 60s. And one of his competitors, Bill Burrows, came in and saw the sail on the floor. This is referring back to the Emma piece where we joked about cutting the sails. Bill drew up a large ant in the sticky back and stuck it on the sail. Needless to say, there were cheers when the kite was first hoisted. In return, Dad then just drew up some more ants and went into Bill's Primate class Tainui at the Alfreds. and knowing where the boat key was, stuck the said sticky back replies under the deck down the quarter berth. Needless to say, there were a few beers and stories told back at the bar when they finally noticed after their first overnighter. They're good mates, both being architects. It's a nice little bit of humour.
Yes.
Bill went on to own the half-ton of Currawong, which is interesting.
Correct.
And Currawong, that's a bird in the Hobart in Tasmania, isn't it? So I think. Anyway, nice little stories. Thought we'd share those.
Yeah, very good.
Hope they weren't too boring. But yeah, interested in that classics regatta. I do love a good classic.
Oh, that'll be a good chat for sure.
Cool.
It's hot time with Bicey.
I don't say anything anymore.
No, it's pointless. There's actually not much to talk about. We've talked about most of the things that because everything's sort of quietened down this week. The Dragon Gold.
We're kind of in that middle, period.
Changeover. Yeah.
In saying that,
we should have taken the week off.
No. We just love it so much. We've got the Fast 40s and TP52 sailing in the Gold Cup this weekend here in Sydney, which has started today. They were out training yesterday, and so that's exciting. So it's quite a good fleet, to be honest with you, Jay. So I know this is a bit off piste in terms of what you've got on your list here, but I thought I'd bring that up.
No, good on you. Love it.
Of course, quite a good fleet. We've John Bacon's brought his Dunning 40 down from the States. We've got Bow Ideal, obviously the Fast 40, Carl Kwok's Fast 40. So there's some big names there. Yeah. You've got Ambition, obviously, Chris Dare from Melbourne. You've got Concord from RPA. Look, it's a really good fleet, and so there's that, and then obviously the TP. So it's a good weekend on the harbour.
Fantastic! Wow. Speaking
at time of recording, obviously it's the start of day one, but hey, well done to
which club are they racing out of?
CY, I believe.
Okay. I thought the women's regatta this weekend out of the CY. I was looking up there.
Oh, mate, there's so many things on. I said, if we were able to cover everything, we'd be brilliant.
Well, I tried to get some detail on the Dragon Gold Cup in Mallorca, Spain, and I have nothing. There's a few posts on their Facebook where they're talking about positions at mark roundings, but the last result I saw was like 3 days ago, and so I got nothing. So the Dragon people, I'd love to do some more.
Just say it's on.
It's on. We talked about it. I'd love to do some talk about who's leading and stuff, but I got nothing. So I apologise. I tried really hard. Do want to cover the Dragons. The only other bit of news, I think, is that the Ocean Race has announced a new stopover. So they're going in the US. They're going to.
Yep, they are. I've got some inside goss on this one too.
Out of Clearwater in Florida. Who have you been talking to, Coxie?
No. Well, a Barcaradian, fellow Barcaradian, Jesse Fielding is actually heavily involved in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I sort of was chatting to him a while ago about this, and there was obviously meetings going on left, right, and centre. Obviously, we weren't allowed to talk about it, but obviously you're releasing it here now, so it's all out in the open.
It is. It's been announced. Yeah.
So super exciting for Florida, and obviously all in sort of way, if you like, with the Pensacola group. They're all into it. It's all happening.
Yeah. So I think it's like this will be the 6th time the race has been to Florida, but this will be the first time to Clearwater, which is quite a lovely spot. But the good thing about that is
in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. And so this leg,
boom.
They go straight from there to Cascais in Portugal, right? And so the routing on this is straight up the east coast of the US and across the top of the Atlantic, and she will be red hot because they've got that Gulf. They'll be flying. This will be where the speed records will be set because they'll have the Gulf Stream sweeping up underneath them, and it's a full noise run, so it'll be a good one as they come out, and they're obviously coming from Brazil, so everyone will be happy. So, but for on board this leg, I reckon leg 4, which is from Clearwater to Cascais, should be some quick times.
Going to be one to watch, you reckon?
I think so. It's just my gut feel, my friend. I know you know that stream in the water.
We know how you roll with your gut feels.
You idiot. Oh, dear.
I think that was a great show.
Oh, we're still recording. You can't do your self-assessment now.
Well, why not?
It's up to the listeners. Remember, if you're not happy with what we say and what we're doing, just send money, and then we'll know you're unhappy.
Send fucking money. We're bloody broke.
That's right. We give it all away, BP, and there's a reason we do that. Promote sailing, buddy. All right, we'll call it there, I think, my friend.
I think so.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Appreciate you following us and listening and all the kind messages we get. We really do. Obviously, jump onto the Vycobi website, order some of the cool gear. BP, you'll check out some new cool gear that's coming your way from our friends at Vycobi. Yep. Radix Nutrition. Barkarati is the discount code. And, of course, disruptormarinemarketing.com.au. Have a great week. Reach out to us at cheers@barkarati.com. It's as simple as that. And, good luck with whatever you're doing.
My way.
I'm going to play that song every day on the Pac Cup.
Slide.